welcome to Alongside Lauren. I'm Lauren and I'm so glad that we get to spend a little bit of time together on this Sunday afternoon while I prepare a couple of dishes that will hopefully make the coming week just that little bit easier for me. Both in terms of knowing that I don't have to prepare a new dinner every night, but also because I have something delicious that I know that I have to look forward to. So in the oven, we have cooking away our Greek style ratatouille, which I think is pronounced Brum, but I'm not sure. Every time I have Googled it, Google thinks that I'm wondering about Brian May, who is a guitarist from Queen, and I'm not. I'm worrying about Ratatouille. Not that I'm actually worrying about it, but that's what I'm wanting to find some more details out on. And I'm also going to be preparing some fruit mince for the pending Christmas season. Feeling a little bit smug, if I'm honest, about the concept of being able to get that fruit mince in nice and early for Christmas. And I'm a little bit concerned that that means that I've forgotten something really important that I was supposed to do this afternoon. We'll figure it all out. So I have got to go into the fruit mince. I've been cutting up some kumquats that I got from my mum. Kumquats would have to be one of my favourite fruits. They are the most beautiful tree. We had a kumquat tree in our old house and I still really miss it. So mum picked these kumquats from her tree in winter and froze them. And I am just cutting them up now into wee little discs and taking out the seeds as I go. So this is actually my first time making fruit mince, which is strange because fruit mince pies are one of my favourite Christmas treats. Maybe that's the reason why I haven't, because it's not really an indulgence if you have to make it yourself, is it? And the thing about kumquats is that they do have little seeds in them. So I just am trying to get those seeds out so that we don't have seeds in our fruit mince, basically. I've been trying to decide what alcohol to add into our fruit mince pies. I know brandy's fairly traditional, but I don't have it, which is strange because I've got what feels like every other spirit known to man in what my father-in-law affectionately refers to as Dan Murphy's, which is our wine and liquor cabinet. I'll just keep cutting up these little treasures. And I guess that's the great thing about making your own fruit mince. Hello, darling.
Hello.
Is that you can kind of just add in the bits that you like and subtract the bits that you don't like, and don't mess with Mr. In Between.
Yes, hi there. I'm Heath. I am Lauren's sous chef, and I am ready to work. So,
amazing.
What have you got going on at the moment? You've got kumquats.
Kumquats.
And what else is going into the fruit mince pie?
There'll be lemon and orange.
Okay.
And apples. So maybe you can get out a lemon.
Yep.
And an orange. And an apple.
A red or green apple?
How about we do one of each?
Okay.
Let's go crazy. That is the dulcet tones of our air fryer that I've been using to sanitize and sterilize the jars that the fruit mince is going to go into.
This apple's a tad soft, but I think that's probably an excellent thing for something that's going to end up as a fruit mince pie.
So like I said, first time I've ever done it.
Is this a lemon?
It is. It's a rather orangey looking lemon.
Very round. Yes.
Very technical. An orangey looking lemon.
Very spherical. And you said an orange, didn't you?
I did.
Okay, so one of everything. Good.
Amazing. And if you can, so if you want to core the apples.
Yep.
We're going to add in some dark brown sugar. So yeah, so I'm excited to see how this works, and then I guess I got to figure out what to do with it. I was thinking, I mean, obviously fruit mince pies are where it's at. They're my favourite. But I also am kind of thinking that some kind of like fruit mince crumble trifle
Yeah, okay.
would be a fun time.
Okay, so of late, trifle seems to be on the brain with you because you were also thinking about a scone trifle.
I know. I'm just trying to remix the things.
Trying to find ways to trifle.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, sorry, there was a joke there, but I gave up on it.
I do love the way that like your brain partly went there and then just went. I'm not entirely sure how to fully form this.
Yeah, there's definitely a pun to be had, but didn't get there. Just decided against it.
So I'm just going to add in the peel of one. We're going to add in the lemon peel.
Okay.
So when Heath and I went to the Good Food and Wine show last week, which we just had the best time.
We did.
And Donna Hay did this, which is not something I'd ever sort of thought of doing before.
Yeah.
So, fortunately, this is quite a sharp veggie peeler
Uh-huh.
that I'm just...
And she made special comment on that it had to be a very sharp veggie peeler to pull this off.
Yeah.
Or maybe just to make it easy.
Well, so far so good.
Yeah, it's going well. I would typically not go that deep if I was taking like the...
Yeah, well I haven't got too much haven't got too much of the... Oh, that's better.
Oh, you're doing the same with the orange.
Yeah.
Cool.
So this is going to be quite a citrusy fruit mince. And you know, could be good, could be terrible.
The classic Barker approach.
Yep, give it a crack.
Give it a whirl.
That's the worst
See how
that
it
can
goes.
happen.
Yep.
Yeah, so okay, so you're right. I have been on a bit of a trifle kick, which is weird because I don't actually like trifle.
Well, it's not your favourite.
It's not my favourite.
I've come to love trifle lately. In the last few years, I've decided that I'm a trifle fan.
I think what happened was our sister-in-law, Christina, made a really phenomenal trifle a couple of Christmases ago. And it was like we went, this is what trifle can be. Trifle can be good.
My life changed when I had that trifle.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry about the noise, everybody. Hopefully it wasn't too loud.
Amazing. Oh, that smells so good. Oh, that's really effective, actually. It's like proper milled it.
Nice.
Which is really
yeah,
cool.
very fine.
And it smells so fresh and zingy, which is amazing. So yeah, so the alcohol, I'm trying to decide. We've got like this apple whiskey that I don't really like very much, that I sort of thought this might be a good opportunity to use it up.
Hey, I think you're onto something there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I feel like it kind of goes with the vibe. Because we've used the apple whiskey and other stuff, like, so I've got to add in 100 grams of butter because I'm not using suet.
You're not using what?
So there's a product called suet that you would normally, or not product, an ingredient called suet that you would normally use like in puddings and fruit mints and stuff like that.
Okay.
Which is the fat that comes from kidneys.
From kidneys?
Yes.
Of a particular animal, like pigs?
Well, normally you do beef suet.
You do pig?
Beef.
Beef.
Beef
Ah,
suet.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I find that very interesting. So,
But
I
I
have seen
the product suet.
that. No, I haven't actually. I've never even heard of it. But I have, or if I have, I've forgotten.
That's okay.
But with the pie crust of like
yeah,
of
like
fruit pies and stuff.
yes.
Is that shortening that goes into a pie crust?
Yeah.
And that's animal fat, but that's not necessarily from a particular
No.
part, is it? That's just
No,
generic.
that's just generic
Yeah. Okay.
animal fat.
And you can have that in like an apple pie or something like that. Shortening's quite common,
Shortening's quite common, or like it might get referred to as like a lard crust. But like the lard crust can be good because you can get quite a short flavor. Like it's quite quite crispy, which is good. But I prefer the flavor of butter. So, all right, and we're going to juice these delicious fruits.
Nice.
When I find the juicer.
Sorry, I should have probably prompted you there. Wasn't paying attention myself.
That's all right. Your mind's still blown by the concept of suet.
Well, I gotta say, it's not the best sounding product.
No, it's really not. Kidney fat. Well, I think
That's
suet's
also
a
not
better name
helping.
than kidney fat.
It's not really helping. None of
Yeah,
it's-
you're right. It's more of a branding issue.
We're not we're not progressing in a way that that I would say results in a great sounding product.
Yeah, no.
No, we seem to be going backwards a bit here.
Yeah, we do.
So hey, while we're at the Food and Wine Festival,
Yeah.
we also bought a beautiful bottle of
Oh
wine.
my gosh, it's amazing.
It is. It really is. It's a bit flash, so we only get to have it once a year.
Yes.
Yeah. But it is worth it. It's very much worth it.
Oh, so we cracked it open, and this is what we did. Like, we're not gonna like keep it forever and not enjoy it. It's
No.
like the good china. You drink the good wine.
Well, it's already had its age done, you know.
Yes, you're right.
So it doesn't need time in the cupboard or in your fancy wine cellar or whatever people have. But in our case, in the cupboard, it doesn't need that. It needs to be drunk. And so, yes, it is a Shiraz from a winery called Brini or Brini or something along those lines.
Brini?
B-R-I-N-I.
It's Italian.
Being
They're
Italian,
Italian.
it probably is Brini. Yes, or something
Brini.
like that. Anyway, we cracked into it last night with our meal, which was a fancy meal, I must say. It was a very fancy meal. We had a cattleman's cut of steak, which is a tomahawk, if you're familiar with that, or rib on the bone, but a very large cut.
Speaking of very large, whew,
Well, I was trying to wrap it up.
beautiful. Okay, I'll give it another scrape down.
Anyway, this particular wine, it's something that we sampled at the Food and Wine show last year.
Yes.
Same show.
Yes.
The same show. So when we were at the Food and Wine Festival this year, we specifically went looking for it to see if we could get our hands on another bottle because
we
it
got
was
it
so good last year.
and it was just
Last year, we
so
basically did the
good.
exact same thing. When we discovered it, we went, oh, all right, we're going to go and buy a nice cut of steak and we're going to have a date night at home and have our bottle of wine. And we did the
I'm a
same
very
last night.
simple woman.
Managed to repeat it. And it was just as good. So,
All right,
very, very
so
good. Very good.
I'm gonna be super lazy with this fruit mince, and I've got like some cranberries and some mixed fruit. So I think these cranberries are ever so slightly past their expiry date, which is fine. It's a great opportunity to use some bits and pieces up, I reckon. Things like this. I'm going to pop in the kumquats. And I'm going to wish that I had sanitized more jars, probably.
Okay.
Because I have no idea how much the fruit mince is meant to make, but...
So on a future show, is the idea to then make these into pies? Or
I think so. Or I thought, like, just because the idea of making that many pies just feels a bit fiddly, and that's why I sort of thought, like, the apple crumble or the, like, fruit mince crumbly slicing would be good. But, but then that's where I also sort of thought maybe like a thing where I don't have to make individual pies could be cool too.
Yep. Yep.
And I thought maybe, like, you know how we do like that oaty slice with strawberries and jam?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And doing
Yeah.
like the oaty slice but
Okay.
with like custard and fruit mince. And then
sounds
like a
fun.
crumbly top.
Yeah. That sounds fun.
And then cut it into like small bits.
I'm gonna keep on just sort of
You keep
hinting until you eventually catch on that I really want to drink some of this.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're waiting to cheers me. I thought you. Oh, sorry.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. I did have a little sip without you, but
Oh, gee, that's good.
that is really, really good. All right. Okay, what have
So
you got there?
this is our house mixed spice mix.
House mix, spice
Our
mix.
house mixed spice mix, and the recipe says 2.5 teaspoons of mixed spice, but so that's 2. I'll just put in the rest of the jar. I reckon just like a little bit of something else.
All right.
I've got
What else you
a gingerbread spice
Ooh,
from
nice.
Go House.
Yeah, yeah.
So I reckon, oh, that's good. 1 teaspoon of that.
Okay. So the gingerbread spice, can you think of the sort of things that would be in that?
It's got cinnamon, coriander, like ground coriander, star anise, ginger, and nutmeg.
Nice.
And even though you're not a fan of star anise, I know, but that is particularly
it works.
amazing.
It works. I get it. I get it.
Ooh, and that is the dulcet tones of the other Thermomix, because I have
You got double duty
I've
going
got
on at the
eggs
moment.
cooking. Because we're going to have, I just thought egg and lettuce rolls would be super delicious for lunches for this week. So now
Sounds
we're
good to me.
just cooking this down for a little bit. And just enjoying the...
Yep.
So good.
That is really good.
Yeah,
I would
so
say
great.
that it was slightly better yesterday, so I
Yes.
think
We
that's
made
good
the
to
right...
know. But we weren't quite up to having a whole bottle at night.
Jeez,
Yeah.
no.
We're not match fit anymore
No,
for
we're
those
not,
things.
and we do a longer run on Sundays, and I have
don't
done
think-
that after we've had a decent amount of wine,
Yeah,
and it is not
it's a little bit,
pleasant.
it's a bit too much. Yep.
It's very unpleasant.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to get this butter in the fridge.
You get the butter in the fridge.
Yeah.
Oh, I will.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was going to say on Friday night,
Mm.
we've been having all sorts of adventures lately.
The best adventures.
On Friday
I
night,
always had the best adventures with you, though.
we went to Brisbane and saw the Whitlams, which is one of our favourites.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant. It was really, really good. We it was at the Princess Hotel. So it had a bit of a pub vibe, sort of a toned back, nothing too fancy. That being said, it was a pretty good production.
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
The lights and sound and everything were outstanding. And speaking of outstanding, we were standing.
Outstanding, but we were inside.
We were standing in the like mosh pit. Now, what have we got
So
there?
this is which I had a bit of a spill in the oven. That's all right.
Oh, that's okay.
So this is that sort of Greek style ratatouille that I was talking about, which is called Brian.
Brian. We've covered this before.
Yeah.
It is spelt with an M at the end, right?
An M at the end.
Not an N. So it is not Brian.
No, and there is sweet potato in there, which is why I'm kind of poking it. So it's still got like more time to cook while it, just while we are wanting that moisture to sort of evaporate a bit, which basically just means that all the flavours intensify. But I reckon I'm going to just cook that before I take the
Yeah, so do you take
foil
off the
off.
foil
Yeah.
later? Got it. To give it a bit of like toastiness on top?
Yeah, and because it means that the liquid will evaporate, which just further intensifies the flavour.
Mhm.
I'm going to put it back in before I do that. But the other thing that I have got in the oven is our loaf of sourdough for breakfast for the morning.
All right. Cool. Just whipped up a loaf of sourdough while you were at it?
Yeah, well, you know.
I know. You got skills, girl.
Well, I'm greedy, I think.
Uh-huh.
So I'll give that a little bit more time. Now, I made a really good loaf of sourdough. Oh, that's pretty good.
That looks great. Nice.
Maybe I
Oh,
should
well
have
done,
let
hun.
it rise for a little bit more, but that's
Oh, it looks like it's risen pretty well.
beautiful. So that's got I fed the starter with buckwheat flour. We've got a mixture of white flour and rye flour, and the seed mix we've got linseed, sesame, sunflower seeds, rolled oats, and some poppy seeds in there as well. And yeah, so we'll slice that up and have it toasted with eggs. And we have also got some beautiful tomatoes that I have
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of semi-dried in the air fryer. And this is just something that we've been doing over the last couple of months, and just it's really, really tasty. It's a great way for us to be able to get some extra veg into breakfast, which Heath hates. And we're going to have them with some asparagus, because asparagus is in season at the moment. It is plentiful and it is inexpensive, which
It's
is
very
wonderful.
affordable and it tastes amazing. So tips on how to cook asparagus?
So our sort of fave way of doing asparagus of late has been just wrapping it in alfoil, popping it into the air fryer while we've got other bits and pieces cooking, usually sort of for about, just be careful of the lid of that, for like 8 minutes. But before I put it into the air fryer, it goes into an alfoil sort of packet. I spray it with a little bit of oil and then we've got this porcini salt and pepper mix, which is just so good. It is so
It
good.
is very, very good. And it doesn't go with everything we've discovered. It doesn't enhance everything right, but the right things, it just lifts meals up a notch. especially if you've already got mushrooms in there, the porcini mushroom flavor is really concentrated and it's nice and strong and yeah, really, really good.
So that fruit mince is smelling really good, but I just...
Does it need more time, or what are your thoughts?
I have no idea.
Well, we are in uncharted territory
Very
right now, aren't we?
uncharted territory.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I might just cook it for a little bit more. I was about to say what's the worst that can happen, and the worst that can actually happen is that I give us all botulism. But
I guess that is probably the worst that could happen.
so I will just grab out the apple whiskey while I think of it.
Oh, yeah. And we'll watch this Thermomix.
Is it? It is. Well, it's like apple. No, it's apple bourbon. Ugh,
Apple bourbon.
but it is still 35%.
I don't mind bourbon. I'm probably a bourbon over rum guy, but I don't love any of them. That's the problem. When I say I don't mind, but that one is sweet. It is actually sweet.
It's still 35%, which I think is...
What did you say? 30?
It's 35%
30. I
alcohol.
thought you said 75. And I'm like,
jeez.
no, that's not a thing. At least not in Australia, it's not. That I know of. Let me have a whiff. I think people love this stuff. I mean, they wouldn't make it if some people didn't love it, but... It's just not appealing.
No.
It just smells so fake. It's fake apple smelling.
Yeah, which is probably why it's going to be...
That's why we're not about it. I mean, I don't mind that fake apple flavour, but in a candy, like in a lolly, not in a...
We have used it for... I think I've used it for curing smoked salmon, and it's actually...
That's where it shines.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. That is good.
Yeah.
Oh, this loaf looks amazing, hun.
Yeah, I don't know if I should
Very
have
uniform. I like
let
that.
it rise a little bit more, but it went into a hot oven, and I didn't get much oven spring, and so that tells me that it didn't have like a lot more to...
Didn't have much more to give.
Didn't have much more to give.
Got it. Yeah. This morning, our pancakes, which we do most Sunday mornings, we'll do pancakes. They were particularly good. They were much lighter than usual. I don't know why. Whether it was because we managed to forget to add the
baking powder
until the end. So then we'd made the mix, and then we added the baking powder and stirred it in again, and then rested it for a while. Whether that somehow helped, I don't know.
Who knows? It's a mystery.
It is a mystery, but it was beautiful. The reason I thought of that was they rose on the hot plate.
Yeah, they
nicely
did. They got some really good rise. It does smell good.
Adventures in the Barker kitchen.
All right, so I will grab out my motley collection of jars that I have sterilized. So I just pop them in the air fryer at 120. So it's slightly above boiling, and the jars go in damp. So they're already clean and washed, but they just go in slightly damp. And the steam just will sterilize them. But I am going to fill them on this in case I make a mess.
That is a smart idea.
I probably should have taken all of the labels off, but I didn't.
Meh.
I'll write on them. But, sometimes I'm not great with labeling the jars. And so Heath is, well, you know the difference between what mayonnaise looks like and what yogurt looks like.
I do, until you make a mayo that is similar in colour, but normally you don't. Normally your mayos pick up, the colours and flavours of other things that are interesting.
Extra virgin oil is a little bit green. So... I reckon we'll go to the next stage, maybe. This smells so good, and it just smells like Christmas. And I can't get too excited about Christmas because I have a lot to do between now and Christmas. We also need to figure out where we're going for Christmas. But wherever I am, there is going to be fruit mince. Oh. I need to stop sniffing things. It's weird. So I'm going to add in our fruit mince. Oh, not fruit mince, you bozo.
Add
In the
into our
booze.
fruit mince.
Into the fruit mince, the
That's
booze.
it. How much did you go with? I know you're kind of making it up.
Well,
but-
the recipe, it's meant to be, I'm meant to put in 60 grams, but because I put in some extra apple and stuff, I put in a bit of extra booze.
Cool. That's good. Sounds good to me. Having a little sticky beak. Oh wow, that's actually really taking shape, and it's looking a lot like a fruit mince mix, to me anyway.
How good does that look?
It's looking great.
And it just smells so good. Alrighty.
So what happens? Oh, I like your trick here.
Yeah.
That's quite clever. You've used the lid over the jar as a bit of a protector.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good trick. I like it.
Well, I still need to.
Oh, well, I
I
mean,
need a little bit of
you
assistance.
probably don't have to worry about it until the end.
Yeah, you're right. Others will be here forever.
Yeah.
So this is where, like, I have no idea how much jar to sterilize.
Yeah. Well, I think it's very cool.
Yeah, that's my help.
Cool.
Just grab. Oh no! Let me see if we have actually run out of paper towel.
I think we have. This morning we ran out of paper towels, unfortunately. So here's number one. Admittedly, to me, and I'll wait till Lauren gets back.
One roll left.
One roll left. To me, this is looking a little bit like chili con carne. Or carne, however you want to pronounce it.
I'm not likely to put that in a jar.
So don't write chili on it.
No, I won't write chili on it.
Because I would think it truly was. All right.
We have, and look, and I have learnt this lesson as well. Well, I haven't so much learnt the lesson because I haven't actually done anything differently. But when it comes to, sometimes we'll put leftover bits and pieces in the freezer, and I did pull out what I was fairly sure was chili con carne to make nachos, and it was not chili con carne. It was Moroccan chicken.
Close enough.
But it made surprisingly good chili.
Yeah. Do you need a...
Nachos.
Are the
I'm
chunks
trying to
too
figure
big for
out
the
For a
funnel?
funnel, yeah.
Are the
I
chunks
think
too big?
But I wonder if
What,
I can
what
do...
about I make you a funnel? Yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
All right.
Here we go.
I'm so glad you're wearing a white shirt.
That's why I'm facing it at you and not me.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Some of you may die. Oh.
Yeah. It might be good. Well done. Let's do the other one, hey?
I think I might still need another jar.
I think you might too. All right. Well, there's a little bit left over. We could put a little bit more in there, but go. Oh. The magic of live television,
Thrilling.
where you just have to watch the whole thing because we can't cut to.
All right, I don't think I can fit any more than that.
Agreed. But I think you did very, very, very well. I think we can park it there and be happy. Don't try and put it in there.
Okay. I think actually, sorry, I am going to grab a teaspoon and just remove that. But I'm excited about whatever I'm going to be able to use these for. This is going to be amazing.
It's very cool. Yeah. Very, very cool.
And just, yeah, like a fun thing to kind of experiment with. And it's low key. This is not, like, we're not talking sheep stations here. It's fruit mince. And it was using all stuff that we already had around the house. So I think sometimes it's really good to have a crack with stuff like this, particularly when you have got, alcohol that we don't love. We had some sad apples that we had in the bottom of the crisper. We had some dried cranberries that they're pretty expired. So none of this is, top quality premium ingredients, but hopefully with a little bit of love and a little bit of time, they're going to make something truly spectacular this festive season. And I hope that this Sunday afternoon, you've had an opportunity to do a few bits and pieces that future you is going to thank you for, whether it's going to be for dinners this week or for some particularly delicious fruit mince pies at Christmas. And I can't wait to do it all again next week and alongside Lauren.